MW Smith here again. I finished up watching Let Us Find the Truth video the other day, and he answered a question that I've had for a while. It was a question. It was also a thought that was nagging me, in a way. See, for a while I wanted to figure out if there was a way to link together the Turks and the people that call themselves Native Americans, right? Excuse me, sorry, just yawned. I was trying to figure out if there was a way I can link them together and talk to Arthur Scott about it. I even mentioned it to Lex Will, but I had no way to do it, so I've kept it to myself because it was like I don't want to be one of those people that put out misinformation. We have so much of that out there, anyways. You know, I was like, hey, just keep it to myself until I figure out if there was even a way to possibly prove it. And I feel like Let Us Find the Truth, he just did that, and he just did it so well, right? And there was something that I wanted to point out because this, to me, all went back to last year when Lex was pointing out that the people in France, with the black activist and the rapper, being sued, and they won their case, proving that they are the indigenous people of France and not the people that are there calling themselves French. The question arose in my mind: okay, so who are these people? And it, my mind kept taking me back to the Ottomans, right? Because every time I looked at Canada, I kept seeing Otto this and Otto that. When you look around um, Milwaukee and Illinois and Wisconsin, those places, every tribe, not every, I'm sorry, that's an exaggeration, but a lot of the tribes all start with that OTTO, right? And I'm like, all right, to me, my mind is saying these are Ottomans, these are Turks. But like I said, I had no way to prove it, so I kept my mouth shut, right? But Let Us Find the Truth, linked it together, and I'm just, I mean, I'm thrilled. It's like, all right, I wasn't crazy. It was there. Um, I was just wanting to show you the number of Turks that live in France as of 2014 estimations. Um, I don't know how to put this. I'm trying not to stutter, but there was something about it when I was looking into Chief Pontiac, okay, and his daughter. His daughter married a free black diplomat. Now I thought that was interesting because at the same time that his daughter marries this man, Pontiac and them are fighting with the French and the British over this territory around here, and we're told that blacks were only enslaved people brought over here on ships. So it was like, okay, what the heck is that about, anyways? And Chief Pontiac, if you look into him, notice he says something quite frequently. We are French. We are French. He sided with the French and he keeps saying, we are French. Now, wait a minute. I'm thinking to myself, if you are Native American, right? You've always been here, right? What the heck do you know about being French? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to side with the French that easily? That's unless you are French, or so-called French, that is. That's unless you come from the same family. That's unless you trace back to the Ottoman Empire. You go back to the Turks. This also, to me, answers why the French would hire um, what were the Arnauts, the Turks assassins to watch over the slaves in the Caribbean islands. When I was doing that whole video about what's his name there, Black Caesar, or Henry Caesar, I couldn't figure out why the French would hire um, Ottoman assassins, these Turk assassins, to watch over the slaves. But that's unless they are related to each other and they could trust one another because it's the same interest. They're the same people essentially enslaving us, and taking away our identity. I thought that was pretty cool that he did that. I mean, I'm freaking excited about that. But check this out too. I wanted to point this out when I did the video, that little short excuse of a video about the four Mohawk kings. Check this out, right? I was talking to Arthur Scott, and I told him I forgot to mention this in the video, what I had noticed about the way that they were dressed, because Arthur Scott was pointing stuff out about about the Native Americans and how they dressed, and um, let me see. Let me see. I want to point this out, right? About the way they were dressed and how they dress, so much like the English or European, more European style dress. I'm sorry. But check this out, right? Now I noticed something, and I thought this was interesting. All right. If you ever want to pull up, notice the coloration. They almost look like they're Spanish, right? He's the only one that looks somewhat red. Okay, now check this out, right? I'm sorry this image is blurry. Check out his sword, okay? His sword. I don't know if I can zoom in. But his sword, I noticed something. This sword right here, okay? This sword right here, it's not an English sword. All right, the way the handle has the ball joint, the ball at the top of it, it doesn't have the hand guard. All right, it has the protector pieces right here, but it doesn't have the guard that usually goes around here connecting, like the French or the English do, and the way it's curved. You know where I've seen that sword before? I've seen swords like that before. That goes back to the Turks. Check this out, right? I want to show you some Turk swords. Check this out, right? And yes, I'm that kind of person that's sat around and looked at these things. Watched a lot of the History Channel growing up, so it doesn't mean I'm educated, but it just means I've seen some. Check that out right there. See that sword? Look at that sword. It has the ball right there. It has. Check that out. Now I want to show you another one. Look at the handle. This is what the handle I'm talking about. Now there's a difference. The English usually don't have this right here. It's usually a straight end, and the ball's usually sitting straight up like that. Okay. There are some that have that protector piece that runs from here to here. All right, protecting your hand while you're holding your sword. It was also something that Lex Will was telling me about. When I told him about the machete that I purchased from after I watched the Book of Eli, and he's like, only idiots would purchase a machete. He's like, you need something that protects you and protects your hand. So I sat around looking at swords after that too. I didn't think of it that way. Well, check this out, right? I want to show you the English sword. Hold on. I want a sword. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Look at the English sword. Look at this. See that? Now, if those 4 Mohawk kings went to England asking the Queen for help, why? And they're telling you that when you read about them, they tell you the English, covered them and dressed them and so on and so forth. Why aren't they dressed like English? Look at, and this is what I'm talking about, the protector piece. All right, ooh, this is a Civil War style sword. But why aren't they wearing anything like this? Why are they using swords that look like I said, like the Turks? See this? Sword from the 17th century of England, and look how straight it is. And there's all kinds. I mean, you can go through this and see all kinds. So to me, this only just furthers that I can't believe they made that error right there, even while trying to cover this up. I don't think they realized that we would even pay attention to stuff like that. Some might call it nitpicking, but I think, we're on to it's on to something. And like I said, I'm just glad though Let Us Find the Truth was able to put that together in a more solid way than I ever possibly could. But just check that out if you get a chance. Leave a comment, but anyways, have a good day, everyone.